A school bus navigates a dark, winding road, its headlights briefly cutting through the dense forest. Inside, Anya, Mira, and Tara are immersed in laughter and excited chatter, their voices filling the bus. Mira is sitting, her head tilted slightly, her eyes sparkling with anticipation as she chats with her friends. Tara is sitting, her expression alight with joy, eagerly awaiting the start of their school trip. Inside the school bus, the girls' faces are lit by the glow of phone screens, capturing their vibrant energy. Laughter and excitement fill the air as they share selfies and snacks, heightening the sense of anticipation. The bus becomes a mobile stage for their youthful exuberance, each moment amplified by shared joy. The promise of adventure hangs palpably in the air, fueling their animated chatter and bright smiles. On a desolate highway, a bus falters, its engine's last gasp echoing in the night. The bus grinds to a halt, its metal frame a dark silhouette against the endless black. The headlights pierce the inky void, revealing an empty road that vanishes into the darkness. The driver's voice cuts through the silence.
We've broken down. We need to find shelter.
Stranded in the night, the bus sits motionless, a beacon of temporary refuge. Dim light paints the school bus interior with shadows, casting a pall over the faces of weary students. A collective groan erupts, a chorus of teenage disappointment filling the confined space. At the front, teachers stand firm, their strained voices attempting to quell the rising tide of anxiety. Their words, laced with forced reassurance, echo through the bus, struggling to penetrate the heavy atmosphere of unease. Under the cloak of night, a dark forest road stretches into the unknown, guided by the beams of flashlights and the moon's ethereal glow. The teachers lead, their flashlights cutting through the dense darkness. The students follow, their faces illuminated by the faint light. The moon casts long shadows, adding to the forest's mystery. Each step echoes in the quiet of the night. The forest road remains silent, save for the soft footfalls and the distant hoot of an owl. The Silver Pines Inn looms ahead, a silhouette of shadows against the night sky. Towering pine trees encircle the inn, their branches clawing at the sky like skeletal fingers. A sense of foreboding hangs heavy in the air, clinging to the decaying structure of the inn. The inn stands as a silent sentinel, guarding secrets buried deep within its weathered walls. The darkness embraces the inn, concealing its true nature beneath a veil of shadows and whispers. An ominous presence permeates the surroundings, warning of the dangers that lie within the Silver Pines Inn. The Silver Pines Inn lobby appears, shrouded in shadow and neglect. An old receptionist lurks behind the front desk, their demeanor casting a pall over the space. Dust motes dance in the air, illuminated by the faint, flickering light, enhancing the inn's eerie aura. Shadows stretch and twist, giving the impression that the very walls of the inn are breathing with secrets. The air hangs heavy with the scent of aged wood and forgotten memories, hinting at stories untold. A palpable sense of unease settles over the lobby as the receptionist's gaze pierces the newcomers. Anaya, Mira, and Tara step into their shared hotel room, a space hinting at both simplicity and stories. The room greets them. Small, old-fashioned, yet undeniably clean. Anaya looks around, a slight smile hinting at a sense of relief and anticipation. Mira walks further inside, her gaze sweeping over the details of the room. Tara follows, her expression thoughtful as she takes in the room's atmosphere. Together, they stand in the center of the room, ready to make it their own. The girls burst into the hotel room, their anticipation palpable. With a surge of energy, they eagerly throw open the window, inviting the night air. A shimmering lake unfolds before them, its surface mirroring the soft moonlight. The view looks alluring, and a sense of mystery fills the air. The moon casts a spell, turning the water into a canvas of dreams. The girls begin to make their plans. In the dimly lit hotel room, shadows play on the walls as Tara, Anaya, and Mira gather. A map sprawls across the bed, a beacon of their shared anticipation. Tara's suggestion hangs in the air.
What if we sneak out? Go to the lake. An adventure.
Anaya questions.
Really? Are you serious?
Mira affirms with excitement.
I am in. That sounds amazing.
In the hushed hotel hallway, shadows dance ominously as the girls move with extreme caution. Each step is measured, their breath held tight against the oppressive silence. The dim light casts long, distorted shadows, amplifying the tension of their clandestine journey. The rhythmic snores of the sleeping guard echo softly, a constant threat to their covert mission. They strain to remain unseen, their hearts pounding in unison with each echoing snore. Under the cloak of night, the forest whispers as the girls venture down a winding path, their laughter slicing through the heavy silence. Shadows waltz around them, painting the path in strokes of darkness and mystery as they share carefree whispers. Their voices, light as feathers, weave through the dense trees, each word a spark in the encompassing gloom. The path unfolds, beckoning them deeper into the woods, towards the mirrored surface of the waiting lake. The forest path disappears into the darkness, each step leading deeper into the unknown. The trees tower like silent watchers, their branches a dense canopy against the night sky. A damp chill permeates the air, seeping into every pore and chilling to the bone. The comforting sound of the lake fades into a distant echo, replaced by an unsettling silence. Lost in the heart of the woods, the path offers no solace, only the deepening gloom. The forest path at night, shrouded in darkness, becomes a stage for creeping unease. Phone screens flicker to life, casting an eerie glow on anxious faces. The dreaded absence of signal bars confirms their isolation. Eyes widen, betraying the first tendrils of fear in the silent woods. Hesitant steps break the stillness, each footfall echoing their growing dread. The path ahead darkens, mirroring the uncertainty in their hearts. The forest path lies in deep darkness, with only scattered light barely piercing through the thick canopy. Mira shivers, her fear growing as she pulls her cloak tighter around her. Anaya hesitates, her gaze darting around, and then concedes. Okay, let's go back. The decision made, they turn, ready to retreat from the encroaching darkness. The group pauses, casting wary glances around the darkened forest. A sudden, chilling realization dawns. Tara is nowhere to be seen. Panic sets in as they frantically search through the dense trees. Their voices echo in the night, calling out Tara's name in desperation. The forest remains silent, offering no answers to their desperate pleas. Fear tightens its grip as the reality of Tara's disappearance sinks in. In the heart of the darkened forest, Anaya's voice pierces the silence as she cries out, "Tara!" Echoing her plea, Mira's anxious call reverberates through the ancient trees. "Tara, where are you?" The dense forest remains indifferent, its shadows deepening, responding to their cries with an ominous silence. An unseen menace lurks, pressing in from all sides, as the darkness itself seems to watch and wait. The dark forest echoes with footsteps, each sound amplified in the stillness of the night. Hope flickers in their hearts as they mistake the sound for Tara, propelling them forward into the dense woods. Driven by desperation, they quicken their pace, their breaths clouding in the cold night air. Shadows dance around them as they push deeper into the forest, the promise of reunion fueling their every step. The sound intensifies, guiding them towards what they believe is their lost companion. Unaware of the true source, they sprint towards the sound, their hopes rising with each echoing step. Deep in the forest, the sound of footsteps suddenly cuts off, leaving Anaya and Mira in chilling silence. Darkness envelops them, amplifying their growing fear as the forest watches with bated breath. Anaya and Mira are swallowed by the void, their solitude a canvas for the unknown horrors lurking in the shadows. Their hearts pound in unison, a desperate rhythm against the backdrop of the forest's ominous stillness. In the dense forest, the canopy blots out the moon, enveloping everything in a heavy darkness. The air hangs thick and damp, pressing in as they listen intently for any sound. A rhythmic scratching echoes through the silent woods, hinting at frantic digging. Cautiously, they move forward, each step muffled by the yielding forest floor. The scratching grows louder as they approach, drawing them deeper into the unknown. Under the cloak of night, Tara is discovered kneeling in the forest, a figure of desperate urgency. Driven by an unseen force, she claws at the earth with bare hands, her expression etched with wild determination. The forest watches in silence as Tara's frantic digging intensifies, her nails now bleeding, a testament to her desperation. Each scoop of dirt thrown aside echoes her inner turmoil as she continues her desperate excavation. The dark earth bears witness to Tara's feverish struggle, her every movement fueled by a haunting urgency. In the darkened forest, Tara lifts her gaze, meeting the eyes of Anaya and Mira. A terrifying revelation as Tara's eyes reflect an abyss of pure black. Anaya stands frozen, witnessing the transformation of Tara. Mira's expression mirrors Anaya's, a mixture of fear and disbelief. The forest at night is a realm of shadows and whispers, where moonlight barely touches the ground. A chilling breeze sweeps through the trees. Anaya's voice cuts through the silence. "Tara?" A moment of eerie stillness hangs in the air as the forest seems to hold its breath, waiting. Tara appears, a creepy smile twisting her features under the moonlight. The night explodes with terror as Tara unleashes a loud, piercing scream. The forest seems to amplify her scream, turning it into a chilling echo that reverberates through the trees. In the dark heart of the forest, Tara unleashes a horrifying surge of strength, turning on Anaya with chilling intent. Anaya is sent hurtling uncontrollably through the air, a scream lost in the silent dread of the woods. Mira witnesses the brutal act, her face frozen in an expression of utter terror and helplessness. The oppressive darkness of the forest seems to amplify the horror, as the trees stand like silent witnesses to the unthinkable. In the heart of the dark forest, Tara suddenly collapses, succumbing to the unseen forces at play. Mira, startled, rushes to Tara's side, desperation etched across her face. A subtle shift occurs as Anaya slowly lifts her gaze, her eyes now fathomless pools of black. The forest holds its breath as Anaya's transformation intensifies, a silent witness to the encroaching darkness. Mira's efforts to aid Tara are overshadowed by the growing dread emanating from Anaya's presence. The night deepens, and the forest watches as the balance shifts, tilting towards an unknown, sinister fate. In the dead of night, Anaya's eyes blaze with a wild, frantic energy. Driven by unseen forces, Anaya plunges into the forest, her movements resembling a puppet's chaotic dance. Moonlight paints the trees into looming specters, their shadows twisting and stretching as Anaya vanishes into the abyss. The darkness swallows her whole, leaving only the echo of her desperate flight. Mira, her eyes widened with terror, plunges into the dense forest. Branches claw at her face as she sprints, her breath catching in her throat. She cries out Anaya's name, her voice strained and desperate, swallowed by the oppressive darkness. The moon casts sinister shadows that stretch and twist, turning the chase into a waking nightmare. Under the cloak of night, Mira watches, her heart pounding as Anaya vanishes into the old house. The house looms, a silhouette of dread framed by the moon's ghostly glow. Each step into the forest is a step deeper into the unknown. Silence descends as Anaya crosses the threshold. The forest holds its breath. The ominous house, now engulfing Anaya, stands sentinel against the moonlit sky. Mira remains, a solitary figure haunted by the house's dark promise. Mira and Anaya step cautiously into the old house. A palpable darkness engulfs them as they venture deeper. The air hangs heavy with the stench of decay and damp. Every shadow seems to whisper untold stories. Mira's eyes widen as she enters the old house, a silent scream building in her throat. Anaya floats suspended in the air, caught in the ethereal glow of the moonlight as shadows twist around her. The room is cloaked in shadows, the lone window casting eerie, dancing figures that amplify the night's dread. Mira stands frozen, paralyzed by the sight of Anaya levitating, her disbelief solidifying into stark terror. The air grows heavy as Anaya remains suspended, a beacon of the impossible in the heart of the decaying house. In the depths of the old house, Anaya trembles, unaware of the horror beneath her. Mira's gaze is fixed in terror. A spectral old woman with long white hair materializes beneath Anaya. Her black eyes pierce the darkness, skin decaying. The apparition resembles a ghost. A single shaft of moonlight cuts through the inky black of the old house, illuminating swirling dust motes in the air. In the heart of the gloom, an old woman stands, her form a stark, jagged silhouette against the faint light. The old woman begins to whisper strange, unintelligible words, her voice raspy and chilling. Each syllable seems to scrape against the oppressive silence, amplifying the unsettling atmosphere. The moonlight intensifies, casting long, dancing shadows that amplify the eerie spectacle. In the old house, an old woman stands silhouetted against the grimy window, bathed in faint moonlight. Her eyes widen with a chilling intensity as she spots Mira. Suddenly, she collapses to the floor, her body convulsing unnaturally. Her movements become jerky and disturbing. With insect-like speed, she begins to crawl towards Mira. Her limbs twist into grotesque, unnatural angles as she approaches. Inside the old house, Mira's scream pierces the silence, her eyes reflecting pure, unadulterated terror. Driven by primal fear, Mira whirls around, her body tense with the instinct to flee. She turns, a desperate attempt to escape the suffocating nightmare. She sprints, a desperate attempt to escape the suffocating nightmare within the old house. She continues her flight, her breath catching in her throat as the house's dark secrets chase her every step. The oppressive atmosphere of the old house looms behind her, a silent testament to the horrors she leaves behind. In the heart of a darkened forest, Mira sprints desperately, her path lit only by slivers of moonlight. The shadows twist around her, mimicking the terror that drives her onward. Thorns tear at her clothes, each snag a painful reminder of the horrors she flees. The haunting images of the old woman and Anaya fuel her desperate escape into the night. Under the cloak of night, Mira emerges, her steps faltering as she finds the lake shore. Her breath hitches in ragged gasps, terror etching lines onto her face. She collapses onto the damp sand, the vast expanse of the lake mirroring her solitude. The dark waters of the lake reflect her fear. The lake shore looms, shrouded in the darkness of night. She walks along the muddy bank, the cold seeping into her bones. Her foot slips on the slick mud, sending her sprawling. A scream dies in her throat as she plunges into the freezing water. The icy water engulfs her, stealing her breath. She struggles against the numbing cold, her movements growing weaker. Beneath the silent surface, an unseen force seizes Mira, yanking her into the cold abyss. The water's surface ripples, then stills, leaving only faint echoes of Mira's struggle. Darkness envelops Mira as she plunges deeper, the world above fading into a distant memory. Panic grips Mira as she struggles against the unseen assailant, the cold water filling her lungs. The lake's surface remains undisturbed, concealing the desperate struggle unfolding below. Under the cloak of night, Mira battles against the unseen, her struggles echoing across the silent lake. The cold water embraces her, each ripple a chilling reminder of the unseen force. Her arms flail, grasping at nothing as she is pulled deeper into the abyss. The surface of the lake ripples, a dark omen shadowing Mira's desperate fight. The lake remains still, its dark surface hiding the struggle beneath. Mira's fight against the darkness begins as she breaks the surface, gasping for air. She claws her way out of the icy grip of the lake, her body shaking uncontrollably. Collapsing onto the wet sand, she struggles to catch her breath, the cold seeping into her bones. Each gasp is a victory as Mira clings to life on the desolate shore. The night cloaks the lake shore in shadow. Mira turns, her gaze sweeping across the water's still surface. Her eyes search the lake, a growing dread tightening her chest. The lake stretches out, a silent expanse mirroring the emptiness she feels. Anaya and Tara have vanished, leaving only the lake's cold, unbroken surface. Silence descends, heavy and absolute, broken only by the whisper of the night. Under the cloak of night, the lake shore becomes a silent witness as Mira succumbs to exhaustion and trauma. The cold, damp ground rises to meet her as darkness claims her. She falls, a solitary figure consumed by the stillness of the night. The lake whispers secrets to the unyielding shore as Mira lies still. The night deepens, casting long shadows that dance around her prone form. The cold seeps into her bones as the trauma of the night envelops her in its icy grip. Mira stirs awake in the unfamiliar hotel room, her mind clouded with confusion. Blinding sunlight floods the room, piercing through the sheer curtains, intensifying her disorientation. She lifts her head, the unfamiliar surroundings slowly coming into focus, yet the confusion lingers. The bright light seems to amplify the swirling fog within her mind. She pushes herself up, sitting on the edge of the bed, trying to piece together the fragments of the previous night. The disorientation slowly dissipates as she takes a deep breath, anchoring herself in the present moment. In the soft morning light, Mira lies still, the remnants of the previous night clinging to the air like a haunting dream. A moment of fragile hope flickers as Mira clings to the illusion that the horrors were nothing more than a nightmare. But as reality dawns, the weight of the night's events begins to settle, shattering the illusion of a dream. The cold truth washes over her, confirming that the darkness she faced was undeniably real. Pale sunlight barely penetrates the sheer curtains at the hallway's end, casting a ghostly glow. Muffled cries and panicked shouts suddenly explode just beyond the door, shattering the morning's fragile peace. A wave of cold dread washes over me, tightening like a fist in my stomach. The muffled cries intensify, their desperate urgency cutting through the heavy door. My breath hitches as the sounds of chaos draw closer, an invisible threat looming. Each shout echoes the growing certainty that something terrible has begun. Mira explodes from the Silver Pines Inn, plunging into a scene of controlled chaos. Grim-faced police officers swarm the courtyard, their presence a stark declaration of the crisis. Teachers gather, their hushed whispers weaving a tapestry of fear and uncertainty. The morning air offers no solace, failing to lift the oppressive weight of dread that blankets the inn. The Silver Pines Inn awakens to a chilling discovery. 2 bodies lie still, shrouded in white. Mira stares at the covered bodies, her face straining of color as the weight of reality crashes down. The morning air hangs heavy with unspoken dread as Mira confronts the stark evidence of horror. The picturesque facade of the Silver Pines Inn is now a backdrop to unspeakable tragedy. The realization dawns. The horror is real, shattering the tranquility of Silver Pines. Beneath the watchful gaze of the morning sun, long shadows dance across the aged walls of the Silver Pines Inn, whispering tales of forgotten times. A local resident, worry carving deep lines into his face, leans heavily against the porch railing, his every gesture painting a portrait of unease. He shares a chilling warning with Mira. Ravenwood. They say it's cursed, haunted by the spirit of the woman who was murdered there. Vengeful, they say. Mira listens intently, the resident's words weaving a tapestry of mystery and dread around the ominous Ravenwood. The Silver Pines Inn emerges beneath the awakening sun, its weathered facade hinting at forgotten stories and long-held secrets. A weathered local, a sentinel of the Silver Pines Inn, leans against the porch railing, his eyes holding a depth of untold tales. His gaze pierces the quiet dawn, hinting at the darkness that lurks within the nearby forest. With a knowing look, he warns, anyone who ventures into the forest at night never returns. His words hang in the air, a chilling omen carried on the morning breeze, as the forest remains silent and inscrutable. In the dim hotel room, Mira lies awake, her eyes wide open, staring into the darkness. Sleep evades her as shadows waltz across the walls, teasing her senses. Restless, Mira shifts, seeking solace in the stillness of the night. She struggles against the insomnia. In the dim hotel room, Mira's eyes tightly shut, her face etched with a fragile stillness. A whisper echoes, chilling her to the bone, as an unseen presence invades the silence. The faint call of her name pierces the veil, stirring a deep, primal fear within Mira. A tremor runs through her as the spectral voice whispers her name, the room growing colder. The lake is encircled by police officers, their expressions grave as they oversee the somber operation. Divers descend into the murky depths, their movements slow and methodical in the desperate search. The sun's glint on the water offers no answers, only a cruel reminder of the secrets hidden below. Emerging from the depths, the divers shake their heads, the universal sign of failure. The divers surface, their faces etched with defeat as they confirm the worst. Nothing has been found. The operation yields no sign, leaving behind only unanswered questions and a lingering sense of dread. Amidst the bustling hotel lobby, a receptionist watches the unfolding chaos. A knowing look flickers across the receptionist's face, hinting at the curse that grips the establishment. The receptionist's eyes reflect a deep understanding of the hotel's dark secrets. A subtle hint of awareness plays on the receptionist's lips as the chaos escalates. The receptionist's knowing gaze pierces through the facade of normalcy, revealing the curse's insidious grip. The receptionist remains composed, a silent observer of the hotel's cursed fate. Mira sits alone on the bus, her gaze fixed on the world outside the window. The other students are somber, each lost in a silent world of their own. The bus rumbles along the road, each turn and bump amplifying the quiet tension. Mira remains still, the quiet hum of the engine a backdrop to her solitary thoughts. Mira thrashes in her bed, her mind besieged by tormenting images. Terror grips her as she struggles against the onslaught of nightmares. A gaunt, spectral face materializes from the shadows, its gaze piercing and malevolent. Visions of Tara and Anaya flash before her, their eyes vacant and filled with a haunting darkness. Mira whimpers, desperately pulling the covers tighter around her, seeking solace from the chilling visions. She struggles to escape the haunting visions that relentlessly plague her mind. Sunlight dances on the lake's surface, its shimmer masking the darkness lurking in the surrounding forest. The water's serene facade belies the ominous shadows that cling to the forest's edge. An uneasy stillness settles over the scene, the lake's beauty a deceptive lure into the unknown. The forest stands as a silent sentinel, its shadows promising secrets and hidden dangers. The sunlight glints off the water, an eerie invitation to venture deeper into the shadowed woods. In the bright therapy room, Mira sits, her unease visible as she avoids the therapist's gaze. Sunlight streams in, yet Mira remains shrouded in shadow, her voice a mere whisper. Hesitantly, Mira begins, her words lost in a maze of confusion. I don't know where to begin. Her voice trembles with uncertainty as she confesses. It's all just a blur. The therapist listens intently, a silent observer as Mira struggles to find clarity in her memories. Sunlight fills the quiet room, dust motes dancing in the gentle light. Mira sits on the comfortable couch, lost in thought. The therapist listens intently, their gentle expression filled with understanding. A sense of calm and understanding permeates the room, offering solace and peace. Under the cloak of night, Mira appears, a solitary figure silhouetted against the faint glow of her porch light. She gazes up at the moon, her eyes fixed on its silver face, seeking solace or answers in its ethereal light. A subtle shift betrays her unease, a whisper of movement in the stillness of the night. The air grows heavy with unspoken tension, a prickling sensation hinting at unseen eyes. Even within the sanctuary of her home, the feeling of being watched lingers, a haunting presence in the night. In the dead of night, Mira lies still in her bed, enveloped by an eerie silence. A sudden, unsettling scratching sound shatters the stillness, piercing the silence. Startled, Mira jolts upright, her eyes wide with fear. She leaps from the bed, every sense heightened as the scratching continues. In the quiet of her bedroom, Mira moves with silent caution. She inches closer to the window, her senses on high alert. With bated breath, Mira peers through the glass into the darkness beyond. The outside world is a canvas of shadows, offering no answers to her searching gaze. She sees nothing but the deep, concealing night. Her vigilance remains unbroken, even as the night offers no sign. In the quiet of her bedroom, Mira experiences a ripple of unease, her heart pounding with apprehension. With a decisive movement, Mira shuts out the night, hoping to dispel her growing fears. She grapples with her mounting anxiety, dismissing the shadows as mere figments of her mind. In the dim light, Mira attempts to reassure herself, struggling to regain a sense of calm. In the dead of night, Mira rises silently, her movements hushed in the stillness of the kitchen. Drawn by an unquenchable thirst, she moves towards the sink, her footsteps barely disturbing the quiet. As she reaches for a glass, a flicker of light from the window catches her eye, hinting at something amiss. A strange reflection dances on the glass, pulling her attention away from her task. A wave of unease washes over Mira as she tries to decipher the unusual sight, her heart pounding in her chest. With hesitant steps, Mira pivots, her expression a mixture of confusion and growing dread. In the dimly lit kitchen, shadows play across the worn countertops, hinting at secrets and untold stories. Mira finds herself under the old woman's piercing gaze, her dark eyes holding Mira captive. The old woman's eyes seem to pierce through the darkness, challenging Mira with their unwavering intensity. Mira stands frozen, unable to break free from the old woman's imposing presence in the dimly lit kitchen. In the heart of her kitchen, Mira's scream shatters the night's calm, her terror palpable. She reels back, her eyes widening as a grotesque figure emerges from the shadows. The old woman lunges, a nightmarish silhouette against the dim light. Mira is unable to move, her eyes wide with horror as she meets the old woman's stare. Mira awakens abruptly, her breath ragged as she fights the lingering tendrils of a nightmare. The room is haunted by shadows, the moonlight painting the walls with elongated, spectral forms. Struggling against the suffocating grip of the nightmare, Mira sits up, her gaze lost in the room's eerie expanse. The silence of the night is broken only by Mira's desperate, shallow breaths. Mira approaches Ravenwood Forest, her face etched with a blend of apprehension and unwavering resolve. Sunlight struggles to pierce the dense canopy, painting long, ethereal shadows that dance across the forest floor. At the edge of the woods, she pauses, her breath catching in her throat as she gathers her courage. A deep breath fills her lungs, a silent promise to confront the shadows that lie ahead. With newfound resolve, she steps forward into the darkness, ready to face her deepest fears. Mira stands silently at the lake's edge, a solitary figure against the shimmering expanse. The bright water mirrors the sorrow that washes over her, reflecting a profound sense of loss. The endless expanse of the lake amplifies her feelings, each wave a reminder of what is gone. The tranquil surface belies the emotional storm within as she faces the quiet ache of absence. The lake stretches out before her, an infinite space mirroring the infinite void in her heart. Mira stands in quiet solitude by the serene lake, a figure of sorrow against the peaceful backdrop. With a delicate gesture, Mira casts vibrant flowers onto the water, each petal a symbol of remembrance. The colorful petals dance on the breeze, a fleeting tribute to lost souls as they settle upon the clear waters. In the tranquil expanse of the lake, the flowers become a poignant memorial to Anaya and Tara. The old house looms in the distance, a silent sentinel of forgotten stories. Mira's heart drums a frantic rhythm against her ribs as she steps closer. Each creaking step echoes the mounting dread within her. Shadows dance like phantoms, twisting familiar shapes into menacing figures. The air grows heavy, thick with the weight of unspoken secrets. She halts before the door, the threshold to an unknown terror. Mira enters the old house, her senses heightened as she steps across the threshold. Her eyes fixate on the exact spot where Anaya once floated, a ghostly echo in the air. A palpable chill engulfs Mira, raising goosebumps on her skin as the room's history presses in. The silence deepens as Mira remains still, her heart pounding in the oppressive atmosphere. In the old house, sunlight streams through dusty windows, revealing a hidden compartment in an antique desk. Mira cautiously reaches into the desk, her fingers brushing against something unexpected. She pulls out a weathered, leather-bound journal, its secrets yet to be revealed. The faded ink on the journal's yellowed pages hints at a story long forgotten. As Mira opens the journal, she discovers a chronicle of life and tragic murder. Mira emerges from Ravenwood Forest, a poignant ache resonating within her. The sunlight bathes her face in warmth, a stark contrast to the shadows she leaves behind. She acknowledges the echoes of the past clinging to the trees, a solemn vow etched in her heart. With newfound resolve, Mira strides forward, determined to build a future free from the consuming darkness. Under the cloak of night, Mira's face is bathed in soft moonlight, her gaze drawn upwards. Her expression softens, a serene calm settling upon her features. The haunting echoes of a past torment fade into silence. An overwhelming sense of peace washes over her, erasing the shadows of fear. The night air is still, carrying only the whispers of tranquility. In the quiet of the night, Mira finds solace, her spirit finally at rest. The lake stretches into the darkness, its surface a mirror to the moon's ghostly light. An unsettling stillness pervades the scene, hinting at Ravenwood's lurking curse. Beneath the shimmering surface, secrets lie hidden, veiled by the ethereal beauty. The air hangs heavy with palpable dread, a silent testament to the horrors that dwell within.